I think he got.
Yeah, I think he's at university.
Yeah, I think that one.
So, then, you can finish the baby. Oh, usually on Wednesday.
Usually on Wednesday, Christian comes, and he texted and said he can't come today. He used to come on Tuesday and Wednesday, but now he can't. Yeah, he's got a job now, so he can only come on Wednesday, and not even all Wednesdays, because he can't come today. I don't know yet. No, wait, we started. Maybe that's the fan. Yeah, it was very.
Farming the baby goes.
Guys, I already told you, don't do the puzzle right now. Yeah.
You think you can handle these two baby?
These guys, yeah, they'll be fine. If they cause any problems, I'll send Dylan over there.
These two.
Yeah, just be good guys, and I don't have to send anybody over there. Yeah, go ahead and change your clothes about a Buddha, and then you can come in here. Alright, if you guys have something to say, raise your hand. Dylan, what? Dylan, I'm tired of hearing you call people racist, especially Ty, so I'm gonna make you face the wall just for that. Never call someone racist. I'm tired of it. I'm not playing, go. I'm not playing, go. If you're gonna call anybody racist, don't call Ty racist. It's disrespectful. Go over there. What? Dylan, alright, you can have him after he faces the wall. Face the wall. I'm not playing.
Go, stand up, go.
I won't make you stay over there a long time unless you put up a fight. No, I can stay there longer.
There.
Mason, what are you doing?
I just all the time does like racist if I so much I say, oh, you're racist.
Yeah, I know, that's why he's not gonna say it anymore, because I'm tired of it. Alright, Mason,
But he's driving, no, it's important.
well, you have to have permission.
Yeah, driving changes are quick.
Okay, enough soccer talk. You can talk about soccer later, alright. Anyway, I guess, who has homework? Raise your hands. Someone has homework. Lon, you don't have homework? Tell me, you don't have homework? Work, young man. David, you got homework? Chloe? You do? Okay. Serena, what's your homework? You're supposed to read 100 bucks. Dragon, you have homework? You have a project? Okay, you can hang out over there and work on your project. You have more space.
So big, she does not know anything. So
Like that.
my teacher, he,
Okay.
my teacher, he has babies now. So they're at home, so they were premature babies.
Aw. Wow.
They came 1 month early too. It was really useful.
1 month isn't even the worst. I've heard of like premature babies being like 3 months. That's crazy. That's like you only in there like 2/3 of the time you're supposed to.
Can you talk? You can handle the baby.
What's into the moment? He's wanted a boy and he got a boy.
Elsa, what's up? Hey. Elsa, come here whenever you're done with work.
What happened?
Where's oh,
You know, better that.
I couldn't see you. You blended into the chairs.
He didn't want
Camouflage.
He's actually quiet.
Alright,
He didn't want to.
okay, these things happen. Alright, well, since you guys don't have homework, we're gonna learn some history. We're gonna learn some science and some other stuff like that. And then you guys can do the puzzle later. Keep it together and don't go wild. Well, you don't have to do it if you want to. There he is.
He went to university.
You went to U of L to get U of L.
I wanted to turn to U of L, and they said that, since they can, like, we have like extra chances to, we do French in U of L.
Oh, okay, cool.
What's the best university? I know some private university that they get invited to. It's Yellow Black. Cause my old teacher, he used to be in my school, he went there, and then he had a student like for a really long time ago that went to that. The university, and then she came back, and now she's 26.
Well, I
He's
mean,
like 56.
there's different best universities depending on what your field is. Like if you're in like science or engineering, well, I was gonna say like science or engineering, probably MIT. But if you're into like something like law, it would be like Harvard.
Which one's for school? Is it like?
Rice, I know that Rice University is good in Texas.
Texas, I think that university people talk about the most is Texas A&M.
Eric, you want me to take your stuff?
Alright, well, we gotta go there.
Alright, anyway. You guys wanna do history first?
Yeah, I wanna do mythology, I don't know why.
How about we spin a wheel?
Yeah. Let's get.
Alright, let's spin the wheel. I'm gonna let David spin it, because David's never spun a wheel before, have you? Do you even know what the wheel is, bro? Have you even been here when we do the decision wheel? Alright, we're gonna do the decision wheel, David. Chloe, why didn't you bring Kayla and Aiden with you in your pocket?
Cause he loved it. I don't know why it's like a small one, I don't know.
Alright, that's fine. Only because you have allergies today. Spin the wheel. Spin.
These two.
Can you get an extra respin if your first spin isn't something you definitely want? And then you can pick between the two.
American history.
Alright, what do you want to learn? Biology or American history?
American history.
Okay, based on the power.
I thought we
of
did
the
it.
wheel.
Watch kids.
Remember.
Caleb turned the wheel and it had me.
Oh, I think we ended up doing something different though with her reroll.
No, because American history,
Did we?
we did that for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? I literally
We
don't.
did the Aussie.
Yeah, that's not American history, that's just like history.
Sam,
It
we
wasn't in
did,
America.
we did, American history with Tina a really long time, and she's gone late.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Yesterday?
No, like a week, like last year.
Oh, okay.
March, remember those?
Yeah.
Like, she was gone.
Then why are you
Last year I
talking,
was at
why are you talking about something that happened literally last year? I don't care.
Not too long.
Anyway, alright. You know, whenever at school they teach you guys about American history, they mostly just teach you about the American Revolution over and over and over. It'd be like colonies, revolution, George Washington, blah, 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 over and over and over. I mean, it's important, but there's a whole lot of other cool American history.
They teach you about, the World War II.
Yeah, I mean, that's better, I guess. Alright, we can maybe do a little bit of that.
I would wonder like who started it, cause like it was some random guy, right? Some random guy that looked at like the general or something, you just,
Oh, I think you know about World War I.
yeah.
The guy who assassinated the Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah, I wanna,
There's old Kayla,
I wanna learn about World War I.
and there's old Aiden. Aiden, do you have homework? Alright, do you guys know who Teddy Roosevelt is?
Yeah.
Alright, tell me, somebody, tell me.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt, not Franklin Roosevelt, different guy, a generation before.
Was he?
He was alive during World War I, but he wasn't in it.
What?
No, he was already out of it. Alright, David. He was he a general? I think he was a colonel, but he was actually president. But before he was the president, he was in the military. Like a lot of presidents were in the military before they're president. Not all of them, maybe like a quarter of them. Llama.
The 1900s to 1950s, they were weird.
All right, so this guy, he's honestly one of the toughest, coolest, funniest presidents, in my opinion. I definitely told you guys a story once about this guy, but I don't know if you remember. One day when we were talking about guys who, like, different leaders who've been shot and survived, we talked about him. Because he was president for a while, and one time when he was like campaigning to try to be president again, some dude who had a problem with him came and shot him. But he didn't die. Instead, he beat the guy. And after he beat the guy, then he went and still delivered his campaign speech while he had like a hole in his chest that was bleeding. And then when the speech was over, he was like, "Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, blah, blah, blah. I guess I'm gonna go see a doctor now." But yeah, literally got shot, didn't care, gave a speech, did his thing.
Where do you get shot?
In the chest, like right next to the heart. It's pretty scary, but he didn't care. He's tough.
Did
He was a Giga Chad.
Did he cry? Why?
No, he was like one of the toughest dudes ever. He was definitely the toughest American president ever. I don't know. Yeah, he was cool. Have you guys ever heard of the Panama Canal?
Yeah.
All right, who knows what the Panama Canal is?
Yeah, me too.
All right,
Yeah, it was the.
so back in the day, this didn't exist until it was built by humans, but there's actually, whenever ships want to sail from like the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean,
They were pop crap.
they used to have to go all the way around because there wasn't a path through here. They used to have to go all the way around down near Antarctica or whatever, all the way around to get from like, if you want to go from like France to Japan, you'd have to go all the way around. Well, Teddy Roosevelt was like, that's lame as hell. And so he made a deal with the country of Panama that America would go down there with all these big machines and dynamite and stuff, and build an artificial river, a canal that people could sail through from one machine to the other. And America and Panama would charge free money, and it was awesome. And when they got down there, start building it though, one of the big problems is there's like a big jungle down there, and there's lots of mosquitoes. You guys remember when we talked about malaria? I know not all of you here. Yeah, malaria is a disease you get from mosquitoes. And so all the workers at this place were getting malaria. And so Teddy Roosevelt was like, that's lame. We're gonna kill all the mosquitoes. And so he got the scientists to cook up this poison. And they went all over the place and drained all the, the mosquito's favorite place to make babies and hang out is in like water that's still. He was like, we're gonna drain all the still water we can, and everywhere else we're just gonna use this poison. So he killed like a ridiculous amount of mosquitoes and got rid of the malaria, not just here, but if you ever wonder why, if you're like in India or like, a lot of these countries over here, Africa, whatever, you might get malaria, but you're probably not going to get malaria in the West. And the reason why is mostly because Teddy Roosevelt was like, we're gonna get rid of this problem. And that wasn't originally even his main goal. His main goal was to just like get this built. And he was like, this malaria is like a side quest I have to complete to finish my main quest. I don't remember, I didn't look it up, but it's not related, so we'll talk about it in another class. Anyway, before he was even president, when he was just a young man around, probably older than Aaron, but younger than me, he was in the army, and you guys know what cavalry is?
Yeah.
Like, what's cavalry do?
Like, they flank or go try to go on the board.
Yeah. And they're not going to be on the force.
Yeah, but back in the day, before horses were outdated in war, they used to have this military unit called the Rough Riders. And yet Teddy Roosevelt was the Rough Rider. They were the toughest American cavalry ever. Like he was alive way back whenever there was still a bunch of important Native American countries here in the United States and destroying them all. Sad story. But anyway, he did some of that. But his main thing that he did is Mexico used to still be part of the Spanish Empire. And after they broke off, like Mexico tried to have its own empire. And Teddy Roosevelt was like, no, he went down there with the Rough Riders, beat Mexico really bad. Anyway, but he didn't just do stuff like that. Another important thing, I like this because I like economics, but I know economics is kind of boring for kids. But do you remember whenever we talked about monopolies and how like certain companies become so powerful, they start swallowing up all the other companies? Like, if you're like a big company that takes over all the other companies, you can charge whatever you want. Like, if you ever deal with a company that charges way too much and like their products suck, the reason they might be able to get away with that is probably because they're a monopoly. Because if your company becomes so powerful, nobody can compete with you. You start doing whatever you want. Teddy Roosevelt was like, that's lame. And he did this whole thing called trust busting, where he broke up a lot of monopolies. Coca-Cola would be a monopoly if like other big soda companies didn't exist. But since other big soda companies like Pepsi exist, I don't know if it would quite be a monopoly. Old time political cartoons about it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, dude, like all the trust, something like that.
What does the interest mean?
Oh, yeah, Teddy Roosevelt, they'll often show him with like a stick, because he had this one famous quote where he was like, people should speak softly, but carry a big stick, which means you should, when he says talk softly, but carry a big stick means, he meant you shouldn't talk a lot, you shouldn't brag or, threaten a lot, but you should have a big weapon, so if you do get into a conflict, you'll win. And it doesn't necessarily literally have to be a weapon, it could even be like, well, it could be like if you have like something you're good at, if you have like a skill, he's basically saying, don't talk a lot of crap if you can't back it up, is basically what he's saying in like what time to speak. So he's pretty cool, I like Teddy Roosevelt. He was not president anymore by the time, oh yeah, he also helped build the railroad. Anyway, he was awesome. Yeah, he was well known for being a literal butt kicker. So like in all the political cartoons, he's usually punching something or hitting something with a stick or something. Because yeah, he was president after President Taft, who was like his vice president. This was the worst part of Teddy Roosevelt's story. All right, so you guys know what a vice president is, right? All right, so he had this loser guy as the vice president, Taft, and he mostly just picked Taft because Taft was kind of just somebody who was in with the Republican Party. They were Republicans. And like Teddy Roosevelt, though, he wasn't a normal Republican. He was kind of like a wild card. He did whatever he thought was right. So to make the regular Republicans happy, he had this board meeting Taft as the vice president. Well, whenever Teddy Roosevelt had served 2 terms, yeah. I'm sure. The tradition back then, it wasn't a law yet, but it was a tradition that the president was only supposed to serve 2 terms. So after 2 terms, Teddy Roosevelt was like, I'm done. But then whenever, he was done and Taft became president, he was like, man, this Taft dude is such a loser. I wish I was still president. So he tried to run against him, but the Republican Party wouldn't let him in again. So he tried to start his own political party. But didn't work out. Because third parties in America, for most of our history, you've only had 2 political parties. Maybe somebody tries to start a third one, it usually doesn't take off. Also, he was, like I said, he was a really violent man, and so he loved war, and he really wanted to go to World War I, but he was already too old. So he was really hyped that his sons were in World War I until one of his sons died, and he was really bummed when his son died in the war. He was so bummed, he was like, I don't remember the exact quote, but he was like, this almost makes me think that war isn't good. But even when his son died, he was still like, I still like war, but it sucks that my son died. It's sad. Oh, this Taft guy, one thing that he's famous for is getting stuck in a bathtub because he was such a baddie. Like, not to be mean, but for real. Yeah, all the papers heard about it and they found on for it. Anyway, so that was a pretty important part of American history that they don't teach about it enough. Let's see, like, yeah, he died, he was already super old, when World War I was happening, so that's what he's doing.
69 years old?
He's 69, he died at 60 years old, so that's actually not that old. He died.
Just old age, I think mine's old age. I don't remember, it should be.
He had a donut and time.
Donut, I don't think donuts were nice.
No, they had donuts back then, but I don't think.
I don't think they wouldn't have donuts in night.
These died in sleep, I guess, you know, just a random health problem. You know, 60 is not considered super old now, but it is still kind of old now. And like, back in the day, they was like even older, people didn't live as long back then. Oh yeah, Teddy Roosevelt is his nickname. Funny fact, the teddy bear is actually named after him.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they named the teddy bear after him because he also loved to hunt. And one day when he was out on a hunting trip, there was like a baby bear that was stuck in some trap or something. He felt bad for it, so he let it go. And was like, became friends with the bear. And so they were like, oh, teddy bear, they named the teddy bear.
Someone else already paid that.
But yeah, no doubt. Really good teddy bear.
So is Franklin Roosevelt related to?
Yeah, it was cousins.
Really?
Yeah, they were cousins. Yeah, they were cousins, but
I would Franklin was he was.
well, maybe if he didn't have that disease that put him in the wheelchair. Before Franklin Roosevelt, when Franklin Roosevelt was young, before he got the sickness, he was actually really athletic, but he wasn't as, he mostly just liked to do stuff like swim and, you know, regular sports. It's not like big issue and stuff. Franklin Roosevelt was also cool though, but he's different. They're similar in some ways and different in others. They're both similar in the sense that they both didn't get along with like their own party because they were such wild cards. It's like he's from before Oppenheimer's time though. Oppenheimer was like one of the big scientists who made the nuclear bomb. All right, let's learn about Oppenheimer.
That's what happened.
Well, do you guys know what the project to invent the nuclear bomb was called? What was it? No, it was called the Manhattan Project,
That makes sense.
even though it wasn't in
Well,
Manhattan.
yeah, I remember
Ready.
hearing it. I didn't when you said it, it was like.
They did it way out in the desert of Nevada.
Yeah, they tested it in the desert of Nevada, and it was like really. And then Oppenheimer realized what he had done.
Yeah, they made a movie about him recently, so there's like a mixture of movie pictures and real pictures.
So I actually want to watch it. Like I didn't get.
Yeah, looks like a movie.
Yeah, they actually.
No, he's from
The guy they cast to play him actually does look a lot like him.
he looks like he's from.
It's the movie that he was in. It was like something little or something.
No, it was like Silent Teachers.
Yeah, Silent Beaker. Little Beakers. Little Beakers.
All not little pictures.
Anyway, there's more than one person who worked on the atomic bomb, of course. He was the guy who was in charge of the project because he was a big brain fella. Yeah, I'll tell you guys the story. It actually relates to World War II. So during World War II, well, actually before World War II, in like the early 20th century, scientists were trying to figure out a lot about atoms and stuff. Chloe, do you know anything about atoms, or are you too young? You don't know what an atom is? All right, tell young Chloe what the deal with atoms is. What they are.
So atoms are like miniature things like that make up a lot, like most of the stuff in the world. and like miniature things in like stuff that can change like energy,
Reread the book.
like
Yeah, like.
proton, neutron, electron,
David. Yeah, basically, you know how like everything is made out of something smaller and smaller? Atoms are like one of the smallest things that we're made of. You keep going lower and lower and lower, eventually you get to the atoms. And atoms are full of energy. And whenever they figured this out, they were like, we're gonna try to figure out a way to get all the energy out of atoms. And that's what the scientists were into in the early 20th century.
Man,
And
if
some
I
of
was,
them,
if I was
wait,
science-
raise your hand. Some of them were like, maybe we can even make a bomb out of this. And a lot of other scientists were like, no, that's impossible. We'll never figure out how to make a bomb out of atoms. And even if we do, it'll be like 1,000 years in the future or something. So at first, nobody took it serious. But then, when World War II started to get ready to happen, stuff started to get real. And I'll tell more after I see what Tony wants to say.
if I was born in that time, I would help, researchers.
Dylan, you can sit down now.
I would become like the second.
Yeah.
He looked at me.
All right, so anyway, yeah, so World War II starts to heat up. Hitler is in charge of Germany. He's causing a lot of mischief, and a lot of scientists in Europe were actually Jews. Germany in the 20th century, the early 20th century, actually had a lot of the world's smartest scientists. Germany used to have a lot of the world's smartest scientists. And when Hitler took over, yeah, he didn't like Jews. So all the Jewish scientists left Germany and went other places, mostly America. And one of the German Jewish scientists, long ago, one of the German Jewish scientists was this guy you might have heard of before, pretty famous. Yeah, he was born in Germany, but he was a Jew, so he got the heck out of Germany and came to America. And when he was in America, he told President, because he was making a silly picture joke, even if you're a super smart guy, you can joke and play around sometimes, especially when you're already real. Yeah, he's pretty funny, pretty cool guy actually. Anyway, so FDR, the cousin of Teddy Roosevelt, was this guy, FDR. He was president at the time. And
Oh yeah, you got something.
he had polio or something. Well, most people thought it's polio, but some people have a theory it might have actually been a different disease that was similar.
Did he not?
Yeah.
He dies like in 2 more days.
Oh, yeah, okay. I guess we'll have to, huh? All right, be nice, Dylan, or you're gonna be put in the phantom zone. All right, anyway, so this guy is him. All right, so anyway, this was before World War II had started, but whenever it was already starting to look bad, because Hitler was already in charge in Germany. And before like the war started, whenever he controlled Germany, he was just causing problems for people there, including the Jews often. And so all the Jewish scientists that had come here, including Einstein, had a problem with Hitler, obviously. And Einstein was like, he wrote a letter to President FDR and was like, listen, President, I know we used to think that atomic bombs were impossible to build, or we wouldn't build them for 1,000,000 years or something. But turns out, I actually think that Hitler might invent, and this is what his people might invent a nuclear bomb. And if that happens, you'll lose the war. And so FDR was like, Roosevelt was like, all right, well, we're gonna actually try to make a nuclear bomb then. And we started the secret project out in the desert, where all the best scientists and engineers in the country were super sworn to secrecy and had to go work in the desert to build a nuclear bomb. And one of them was Oppenheimer. Let me see what.
Germany, they bombed.
Well, yeah, that's a spoiler, but we'll get there. I'll tell you later. Let me do this. Not even secretly. Alright, quit fanning around while I help Anthony and then we'll continue the story. After the break. Fine, I just said after the break. Yeah. Larry. Make it bigger, like this. You can't see that, right?
No, that's
Give it on break. Alright, everybody hush. I don't want to hear it.
I didn't see the
Alright. Anyway, so I'm gonna tell all the coolest part while Tony's over there. I'm gonna do something quietly so he can be here. Alright, anyway, so I know a lot of you big fellas already know about nuclear bombs. Chloe, you might not even know about nuclear bombs, do you? You know about a nuclear bomb? Have you ever seen one? Alright, nuclear bombs are incredibly powerful. They're like millions of times powerful than regular bombs. Just show you guys like a video. It's neat the same thing, actually. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Next week you guys are gonna go on break. Like a regular bomb might blow up like a house or a building, but an atomic bomb can blow up like a whole city or like a whole country even. That's huge. It wouldn't even take a big nuclear bomb to do it. You could destroy the Vatican with like a small nuclear bomb. Well, then I guess you would have a lot of bad karma. Even though they're pretty evil, I think they're very interesting because they're definitely the most like raw, powerful thing you want to do. We'll watch different one. We'll watch what's more powerful, even though it's. This is the first one today. The first one. And I guess. That's my problem with True story, it's a great time, but true story, people in Las Vegas back in the day, testing nuclear bombs that wasn't secret anymore, would go up on the roof of the casino and watch the nuclear bomb press off in the desert. If I could go back in time, I would love it. It was too far away, but they were still getting radiation. They didn't know.
I'm working in class. I'm working in class.
Mason, did you know that you're in this puzzle?
No, I was just looking at my part of it. And it was right, so I was like, you did something wrong. That's not my name.
Yeah, summarize it.
I mean, you're done. I have to do
Show me the picture, maybe.
Exactly here. I did. Exactly here. Oh, it's my mom. Okay, then tell them next time. Your brother.
Oh, that's. Whoa, you made those arms. This place is super cool.
Yeah.
Why you like this? You remember.
I can't tell
Oh,
you.
you're locked up, right? So you locked up. Then have a phone. I have a bad copy, right? And even though I owe you, you have to do something better. Even though I owe you already. Like basically you already.
I'll give you secrets later, okay? Anthony.
I didn't see it.
Can you like get rid of this part so we don't see this? Completely illustrated. I was wondering. Oh, here we go. I don't know it. Look at the email to you. He just sent me a link. It's like a big long. Yeah. I don't know on the website because it's kind of long, but I think it changes each time, but, Zoom? Okay, since you have Zoom, okay, you have to download Zoom on your computer. And once you have the Zoom app, then, Ty puts into a link, and you, open the link in your email, and it takes you to the thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you should be able to get it. Yeah. If, try to get the Zoom app, this week before Friday. And tell me who got it like on Friday, okay? And then on Friday, yeah, when I come here on Friday, before it starts, I'll tell them to send it to me.
Like dark blue.
What?
Oh, okay. That's fine, you can just watch.
Why are you here? I'm not touch.
I think also when you're on the over, you put them on Facebook when they're on the over too. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that, hey, I love getting to see stuff in that section.
Yeah.
I heard someone ring the bell. Are you gonna solve it, Aaron? Oh, I can help you with that, but like, I was trying to somebody else in your screen went black. Bring it back up. Alright,
So,
you don't have a password?
well, and we didn't.
Yeah, if you can do it, I gotta help somebody with this thing, this Alexander the Great thing.
Tony,
Yeah, we're gonna tell him. They're trying to think we can solve it better than us. Yeah, he's. Mason, get in there. Lon, what are you doing? Lon, get in there.
I'm getting Give some water. Who did the girl last name?
Hush, get in there. Oh,
This is student.
yeah, but it's time for them to calm down and meditate. I said ChatGPT can read it better than us. So I told her to do it and then I'm gonna text it to you. Or email it to you or whatever, and then you can read it off of that instead of this, since this is too tidy for you. I can even have her read it out loud if you want, but it's like super long.
Teacher's so lame. She. Am I being the nuke in Hiroshima?
What?
Being in Nuke City. Imagine being in Hiroshima.
Sure, here's the transcription of the text. The campaigns of Alexander, several months ago. You know, Lucius Marcus philosopher and historian, lived some 400 years after the time of Alexander. This book is considered the best account of Alexander's reign. In this excerpt, Arian describes Alexander's major battle with Porus, a prince named Porus, on the eastern bank of the Hydaspes River in the Indian subcontinent.
You know Alexander had a bad temper.
Alexander allowed him to retain.
Makes sense. He was pretty violent.
Soldiers are cavalry and crossing the river about 10 miles upstream. Rafts for ferrying men were made from hides wrapped around hay and sewn watertight. The crossing was made under cover of a midnight thunderstorm. Too late to stop the crossing, Porus arranged his army on a nearby plain and prepared for battle. The narrative continues below. Alexander pitched camp on the bank of the Hydaspes, and Porus was to be seen on the other bank with his whole army and his forces of elephants. He realized that he had been outplayed at the point where Porus was posted. His elephants were too numerous. When Alexander saw this, he decided to move his troops in all different directions so that Porus would keep puzzled. At night, he would take most of his cavalry to various points along the river bank, where he would create a clamor, raise the war cry, and produce all other such noises as would come from men preparing to cross the river. Porus would actually parallel his movements on the other side, leading his elephants towards the shouting, and Alexander got into the habit of leading his corresponding movements. This actually went on for quite a long time, until Porus no longer reacted. The engagement was unlike any other previous battles. Porus horses' elephants were now boxed in, and the damage inflicted by them fell on the Indians less than fell on, with men trampled under as the beasts twisted and turned. Most of the drivers of the elephants too had been brought down by spears. Even usually 10 animals were tired and their charges turned. Alexander had his cavalry in a circle around the entire force, and ordered the infantry to lock shields, to them tight into the bands and buckets. At this juncture, the Indians altered to flight.
You were fighting the Indians?
This was whenever he got to like
In this one.
yeah, he went all the way out to India, and he never took over India. That's pretty much where he stopped and didn't go any further.
When he was coming back, he died by a disease or got shot by an arrow.
He had a disease. Some people say that he was poisoned, and some people say he just got sick by accident. We can't know, but he was definitely not
I think
dead from an arrow.
poison, because think about it. India is in a different region,
Yeah,
and there's a lot of malaria.
yeah,
Where I'm saying that isn't like he doesn't experience malaria like that.
yeah.
So I think the mosquito bit him.
Well, they say actually it was like dirty water that he drank from, probably made him sick. But some conspiracy minded people say that maybe instead of it being dirty water, maybe one of his boys did it because they wanted to go back home, but who knows? Because a lot of the men in his army are like, we've already taken over so much, we really don't want to go any further, especially since the Indians had all these elephants and they were sick of fighting elephants, like in the story. Those elephants are pretty powerful. Right now that we live in the modern time, when you have like tanks and stuff, it doesn't seem so crazy. But like back in the ancient times, like if you saw like an elephant on the battlefield, it was like the worst thing you could imagine.
Imagine, you know what knows I'm so tired of this. Do you know if like, if the elephant can suck stuff, with their nose? I mean, they just suck like big rocks.
I guess it's possible, but they probably wouldn't want to do that a lot since that's how they breathe, and they wouldn't want to accidentally get like a rock stuck in their nose, and then they would have trouble breathing.
Just make it filter.
Yeah, maybe. But they also use their trunk almost like a tentacle, like they can throw stuff with it and stuff. But it's mostly because they're huge and they have the tusks, and they would give them armor. But even without the armor, like if you shoot like an elephant with an arrow, which would obviously be cruel, you shouldn't. But their skin is so thick that even without armor, you could shoot them with like a bunch of arrows, and they would just be like, I don't care.
Oh, gosh. I think it's not back there, but.
Yes.
Oh.
Did it help to be able to hear the robot lady read the story? Yeah, I like it too.
I have this book that's super damaged.
What book is it?
The Giver.
Oh, yeah. I read that when I was a kid, I think, but I can never remember like anything about it.
It's strange. It was the only book I liked. And the teacher gave me all these books, and you pick, and these books are so bad. This book's about the truth, on how the main character gets the truth, and I don't get out of that. So,
Do you want to see a cool battle that has elephants in it?
well, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna put it on my phone. This is fiction, but it's from like a really cool movie.
Explain how.
You ever heard of Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. They have a scene where there's like these, they're not normal elephants, they're from like this world, but they're basically elephants.
We have monsters with the
Those are orcs that they're fighting. They're like humanoid monsters. They have orcs in a bunch of games, but they were actually in Lord of the Rings or way before that. Lord of the Rings being written like 100 years ago. Alright, so they think they're winning the battle, but then these other enemies with elephants roll up.
Oh, these elephants are big. That's how tall elephants are?
In this world, in real life, they're a little bit smaller, but. This movie I like to see because similar to real elephants, like. They shoot these elephants with a bunch of arrows and they're like, I really don't care, I'm an elephant, I have super thick skin, so arrows don't bother me.
Just look at their foot.
Their foot is like their toughest part, bro. But like they can attack with their tusks and they can also stomp on you, and they would add, like the tusk is already like a giant spike, but they would add more spikes to the tip of it, so whenever like it's swung in any direction, you would get stabbed. Yeah, they would have like dudes on top that were also shooting arrows from on top of the elephant. If they were up higher than everyone else, there would be like a good angle to shoot arrows from.
I think other thing is reading what you're saying. Well, they have vision coincide.
Well, like, Lord of the Rings is basically like the dad of like that whole genre of fantasy, so like a bunch of stuff is like kind of based off of it. Like there's like a million of those if you know. A real one? Let's find out. It's pretty tall. I saw one in person before. Pretty tall. Like wow, it's like it's called like a telephone pole with a low pole.
How cute.
Pretty good.
These are way too tall.
Yeah, because it's fantasy, but it's similar to us. It kind of gives you an idea. It also kind of gives you an idea what it would feel like to be in that situation.
Why did she do that?
My favorite part. I hope this YouTube clip doesn't cut it out. There's like a part where like there's like an elf character where elves are like super fast and graceful. He like climbs up the arrows and like he's able to get to the top of the elephant. I think it's cut out from this YouTube game. No, that's not.
Look, explain how Anthony the army was able to cross the. This is me.
Across the Hydaspes. That's just the like river that they were talking about.
You know what I'm doing? Got a sword, and get it on one knees. Goes in. Why are else something that works in games? I don't wanna be a hunter. Where I wanna be. A gardener,
Gardener,
so I don't wanna deal with all in school,
yeah,
and so you use otherwise.
yeah, true.
It makes it feel when the pro players do it,
What?
when the pro players make it look easy.
Yeah. Like hair right in the brain.
I was in the army,
So,
they. Big reactions, you know? I've been reactions, so. Um. Is it said they did it so many times. Look. They did it so many times, like. They did it so many times, I mean, puzzle, and produce and cover my across the road.
yeah, you're right. I think you should phrase it slightly different in your answer. Yeah,
My racing is super long, but I know the,
yeah, you get the idea.
yeah, cause every time I get like a D on each assignment like this, because of my phrasing. One time you read over my stuff, remember? My teacher gave me a D. Because I put over 2 paragraphs,
Oh, no.
and I wrote 4 for introduction and conclusion. He gets mad for every single thing, even at more. Remember this book? I just need to finish that and finish the rest and finish one more thing. Today is a work, Wednesday are my work days,
Yeah.
where I actually work. But wait, yesterday, there are chill days, cause Monday is like getting used to it. Okay, coming back to school, Tuesday is like, getting used to it. And Wednesday is when I'm used to it, and then Thursday is like, I'm ready to get out of school. Then Fridays, I'm ready to get out of school for sure. Saturdays, I don't like working. But then comes when I'm on Saturdays. And Friday, you know how annoying that is? I finished one time, I told my mom I finished all my work, and one night still came to my house. I finished all my work, I did all my work, but one thing.
Alright, you know how he's able to turn Horace's elephants into a weapon for himself?
It was right here.
Yeah, he like boxed them in and made them all like stretched out. Yeah,
Made them
so they,
confused.
yeah, so they attack their own people more than his
They didn't
people.
know, they were stressed and confused,
Yeah,
so basically, they boxed them up. Like, they put them in a box,
not a literal box, but they were like trapped.
like, in
Felt like they were in a box.
like, the box was like people, this army shooting up in a field like this. It's like the Fed. It's this,
Phalanx.
yeah, phalanx.
Yeah.
Like put horsemen around the elephants, the cavalry,
Yeah,
they like they would kill they would, I don't think they killed it, but they would attack the people riding it
yeah,
first and then put it in the box. And then the elephant's like, where am I, where am I?
yeah,
Confused
so
and
yeah, just write it, like, he boxed them in and stressed them out, so they were confused and attacked their own guys, basically.
big, but they're like tall as a patent.
Elephants are also super smart. They're one of the smartest animals.
I think monkeys are the smartest. No, chimpanzees.
Elephants are smarter than most monkeys, but not chimps yet. But even like chimps, like think of it with elephants, they have like huge brains, but they like think different than us. Like other apes like chimps think more similar to us. Elephants are smart, but their intelligence is like different from ours. But they do interesting stuff, like they have funerals when one of their people dies.
Alexander's. Surrounded. Intelligence. And yes. I love this. Um, check it.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't teach all of these because I have this one. Well, I have 4 questions. Because the amount of those nice. No.
Yeah, that looks good.
You know, Dylan has like freaking more buttons, no, 9 buttons on his map, like more buttons on the map, like, the side buttons, and you get 2 on average.
Yeah, I don't know. What do they all do?
Like, you can set them as one, though, like, in game later, I use my side buttons and my reload and my use button, like connect stuff. Like, when you're grinding, and you get this weapon, I use my connect button as one of my side buttons. You just set them, it's a program, but you need to get a lot of money. You need to be rich.
I'm gonna get the computer to read this one too.
Oh, number C?
Yeah.
I'm you number 8, check number 8.
Oh, hey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How many times does the name Alexandria appear on the map?
No, it's a traitor.
In you guys' games that you play?
Yeah, me telling you agreed. The only time we agreed on something is don't let wrong me. Because first off, he keeps going to another scene where the entire of it. Like he keeps switching up.
I think there's 9 Alexandrias on here instead of 8. Come here, let me see if you think I'm wrong. Oh, no, there's 10. Yeah, come here. Here's the first one, Alexandria in Egypt.
Oh, I can read that.
And then there's this one. So 1, 2,
There's like 8 over there.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
There's 10.
Yeah, there's 10.
Okay, just switch it to 10. I know Apple's weird. Samsung is way better to play games. They have way more games. And the quality, Samsung's photos are way better than Apple's. And the screen is way better.
Yeah, I like my Samsung tablet. It's a lot cheaper. That's the main reason I got it. I bought an even cheaper tablet before, but the really cheap tablet I bought wasn't any good because it was just some random brand. So I bought like a Samsung. It's still cheaper than Apple, but actually works better. Unlike that, like one that I got.
Did you know that one of my friends have this giant iPad? It's crazy, bro.
It's like one of the professional ones for like
Yeah.
businessmen. Oh, hang on, let me give you input about this one. So what conclusions can you draw from this response? I would probably say, instead of saying he was a bad leader, I would say he was proud or arrogant or something like that. Because bad is kind of more of an opinion, but it's more of a fact to say that he was proud or arrogant or something.
I'm proud of that.
Like that.
He was arrogant, he was an arrogant leader with bro. You know, I was paranoid.
Well, yeah, you have to be if you're like taking over the world.
I think one reason is because of how his other guy,
Yeah,
and so he's like, I might have to see things like water. And so he killed he killed his friends, family, his friends, his like his close advisors. Thinking they would kill him.
you know who else was super paranoid like that? Even worse,
Yeah.
Qin Shi Huang. That guy even killed his own like family. His like exiled his own mom and stuff.
Oh,
He's so paranoid. All right, so we got this one.
A B C D E. A B C D E. We have 5 documents.
All right, let's listen to this lady read this other one.
Here's the transcript.
No.
Note.
During Alexander's march down the American coast, many cities were unallowed in park. Some were happy to
Others were persuaded to surrender. They believed their city was unconquerable because it was built on an island, so its citizens could hurl axes from their battlements to the sea. However, he used siege works of timber and rubble his soldiers brought from the mainland to the island. The city held out for 7 months, and Tyrian counterattacks caused Alexander to lose many men. In the end, however, the causeway was completed, and Alexander's army smashed into the city.
Love it.
When the last organized resistance was broken,
So, do you know what you know what counterattacks are, right?
Yeah, when somebody attacks, but
Attack them back,
you
basically.
block and attack.
Yeah,
So they don't attack you, you attack them. You know, there's some, you know, boxing so hard in fights sometimes.
yeah.
Like, there's some fights that they don't.
the city on a ferocious
That's-
Alexander had ordered that all except those who sought sanctuary and safety in the temple were to be slain, and his commands were executed. So the burning flames. 7,000 Tyrians died, and the number of women more than had not been sight, entered the city alongside Alexander's troops. Even though Tyre had been Sidon's rival for centuries, managed to smuggle some 15,000 of them to sea. And now it's coming. And taking back the Johnson one. And has next. Sold to slavery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
My teacher talked about how, this question said, yeah, well, you can't just like men. I think this one, he's a great leader. So the evidence that he's a great leader, oh shoot, this one.
you gotta rephrase this and how it's evidence like, right, okay, that's easy, we'll just change it a little bit.
This one is just like. No, I didn't get that one.
Okay.
I
You
got
don't-
one. Is the conclusion?
Oh, you gotta make it.
No, so that's the question one for this.
Oh, okay.
It's just.
I just got to add something about one. No, that was great. I think it's pretty great because it was smart.
Smart.
Strategy.
Yeah. And this one. It's like the big ones, like much complicated. It was making the leader of that area confused, you know? Chicken noodle soup.
Alright, how might you explain his decision not to kill you in the 19th century and it's simple, what do you think about that?
This is a war.
Well, back then, like, nobody could really punish him for doing the wartime, nobody was hurt, so it seems like maybe he was afraid that if he attacked in a temple, the gods would be gods.
And then
He respected the temples because he didn't wanna,
disrespect the god,
yeah,
and then the other ones, he was not great because he crucified men instead of ending them like, and the other one, he ended them for to show the world that, I think he showed the world how powerful he is.
yeah. Makes sense. I guess that might, I'll edit it, let's make sure that it's like, flows nice.
They not killed in the because was running the gods to punish him for his actions. It is. I just only copy and paste it, it's super easy.
You think it's great, I would say like, cause,
It was great because he respected the temple
because he respected the temple and because he was merciful to people.
and he respected. I got some.
I'll tell you how to spell it.
Respected-
It's R-E-S, there we go.
He
Okay,
respected the temple.
it autocorrected it, something else changed it. Not respected, it said respected Athens, just change it to say the.
He respected the temple and mercy. Yeah,
Okay. That looks good, well, just go to this next one, because the one you wrote looked good.
I like blue lines, blue line make it ugly, it looks like my handwriting look bad, my. Just read.
Why did it change? Alright, we get the next piece up.
I love it. Big chicken hot mouth. I like you're like. Yeah. Oh my. It's. I know you're so much.
What the heck are you doing?
Man, I wanna fly, I need it.
Bro,
Once more, that's okay.
it seems like you're doing something that's not school related.
Right.
It's not break, break is, well, actually you have like a few seconds left, so hurry up.
Right. So.
Well, I guess maybe if you had beat your out so much, you'd have had more time.
What?
Yeah, he needs it.
I see it.
Oh, he needs it.
You guys don't know it.
I need your mom.
So, this-
Okay.
Sam, let Aiden. Aiden.
He's in there, he's not on the cover. He's in the
What happened?
Yeah, you got cut off in the picture.
Oh, and he loves big songs.
What's your favorite planet?
I finished one.
Planet Earth.
What you're the answer.
Seven. Did you make this? One time, guys, getting normal seats. Mason,
That causes people.
why are you screaming? Don't.
No.
Mason, listen to Jim. Thank you, Elsie. Okay, thank you. Hey, what are you guys doing?
I didn't hear. I heard that's what.
Ooh, he's eating.
Yeah.
I know, right on there. Dad, no one sit. Sit.
Break time is over, so everybody will sit down. And get to doing something useful, or you're gonna face some walls.
Don't get.
Sorry. Get back, some people be quiet again. Kayla. Kayla. When do you want to eat it up?
Mary.
Hey, Dragon, what are you guys up to?
Now you're gonna tell her something right now. Now, you're like that. Mom, mine.
But first, I'm going to go for you. Go over there and make sure that people at that table are all doing good stuff. And if they're not,
Not doing it, something bad stuff.
Get away from me.
Why did that YouTube?
I know, why did you take that?
Oh, not YouTube.
yeah, it looks
I
like.
meant, I mean,
It's bad.
that's right, y'all know.
What would be an alternative to great treatment of a carrier provider? What do you think? Why don't we treat them so?
That's not
writing.
Oh, right into the
How many have you got over there?
I'm doing ISO. You failed.
Hey! 70%, not that bad.
You're